Hello, everyone. We want to welcome you to our webinar today. We're excited to have Bonnie Wood from Inovia Consulting, and she's going to be presenting to us on Cut Through the Noise by Personalizing Your Role Center. And before I pass it over to Bonnie to cover on this topic, I would like to remind you that this session is being recorded and it will be posted to our on-demand webinar library for you to review and share with anyone. And if you do have any questions, please feel free to type those into the questions box and we will get them answered during our Q&A time at the end of our session. So now I'm going to pass it on to Bonnie to kick off our presentation.
Thank you, Angie. And thank you everyone for attending today's webinar with Inovia. Nice to meet you. Yes, I am Bonnie Wood and I am a customer engagement specialist here at Inovia. My role focuses on new business development for Dynamics 365 Business Central. And today I will be diving into the Role Center and give you some ideas how you can personalize your own workspace that best fits your daily functions. So with that, I wanted to show you, kind of start out with just giving you an example of when you sign into Business Central. If you've not yet seen what that looks like, your homepage will look similar to this, depending on the type of role that you are set up for. So, you know, Microsoft put a lot of research and money into coming up with the design to see it as you are noticing it here. And what they did was they went out and they interviewed lots of folks, lots of employees in various job roles and with various responsibilities. And they came up with a list of profiles that are most commonly used in every business. And that is what your role center here, as you see it, is kind of based off of. So for example, if you are in the sales department, you're going to find that inside Business Central, you'll be able to create your homepage based on whether you're a salesperson, a sales manager, sales and marketing, or order processor. If you work in the warehouse and you might need a warehouse manager, role center, operations, accounting, all kinds of accounting profiles. So really, they've done their homework on coming up with the best used job functions and responsibilities that will make up your homepage. So that's going to just give you an example of what it looks like, and we'll go into more detail here as we get further into this. So again, your role center is picked from a list of profiles already predefined and configured to reflect the specific tasks and actions, and it prioritizes those for you every day when you sign in onto your homepage. And the homepage, the configuration can be modified, but it does need to be done by your in-house administrator. And if there's profiles that need to be like new ones created, that's again, you're going to want to go to your administrator and they can create new job roles. So again, it's just meant to provide quick and easy access for your users to perform your daily work. Now, the profile that is used and picked, you will see at the top of the home page, the navigation menu that is designated for that particular profile that you have picked for yourself. So again, we'll show those here in a minute. So the set of default profiles will correspond with links that are going to be built right into your role center. So the profiles that are there are for users, and again, the personalization can be done by the users. When you've got profiles and your role centers that we're talking about, these can both be customized. in two different ways. One, it can be, like I was mentioning, configured differently, but that is going to be performed by your administrator. If you want each role or profile to look a standard way, for example, for a team of employees, then that can be configured by your administrator so that everyone is signing in with the same, seeing the same roles and responsibilities on their home page. Now, once that is done, you can personalize as your user, with your own user login, and you can hide or add other functionality to your homepage. With that, we're going to focus today mostly on the personalization of your homepage, and I'm going to take a second here and go switch over into the software so that I can show you what it looks like when I sign in. Today I'm signed in as a business manager role. So I've got kind of my homepage here. I'll scroll down and give you a quick look of everything that's on here. And I'll show you in a minute how this, what everything means. So when you sign in, you're going to see the company name right here in the top left with this, which is hyperlinked, and it's hyperlinked all throughout Business Central. So if you ever want to get back to your home page, you just click on your company name over here. This is known, the black bar, as your application bar. It's going to tell you what kind of environment you're in, the sandbox or your production environment. You can see that I'm in our sandbox. If you've got any notifications, that's what the bell's for. Here's a useful tool, it's your search bar. It's also known as the Tell Me bar. So this is where, if you're not finding anything on your home page, you can certainly search for it here in the Tell Me bar. So for example, since we're talking about roles and profiles today, I'll go ahead and type in profiles and see what comes up. So you'll see that you've got three or four different sections here when you type in a word. Here you're going to come up with your most popular choices in lists and more functions that you're going to go straight to regarding that role or regarding that word. Here you're going to come up with reports and analysis. If you want a deeper dive on how to do something, or you're going to find information here like customizing pages for roles. You can just find all kinds of useful information as you dig further in. And this isn't showing them all. If you want to show all, you just click the hyperlink and it's going to give you more choices on that particular topic. Okay, so that's how you use the search bar. The next tool over here is your settings wheel. And this is where you're going to come in and we can personalize, design, and design again is going to be with certain permissions. If you are a super user, you'll see that design function there. If not, you may have to have yourself set up as a super user. Then you've got My Settings. My Settings is where you come in and you pick your profile or your role that you are in for your company. So you can see that mine's already picked for a Business Central role. Let's say that I also act as a sales and marketing or sales and relationship manager. So down here, I can pick that. And before I do that, you could see the various pre-defined roles and profiles that are already existing within Business Central. So if I pick the sales and management relationship manager, I'm going to click it, hit OK, and it signs me out of the one role and signs me back into the new role within Business Central. And you'll see that the homepage is similar, but it's not exact. It's going to give me, different insights and reports and tiles. And again, this is the way this looks can all be personalized, and that's what we're going to get into. But for now, I wanted to show you where you can find the different profiles and how you can switch back and forth to those profiles. I'm going to go back in, switch this to my business manager role. Click OK. And then we'll go back in here in 1 second. Okay, now to finish, I'm just going to give you an overview of this home page. Since I'm in the business manager role, you're going to see this is called the navigation bar or menu, actually, which is my key roles that fall under the business manager functionality. And I apologize, looks like something is not connecting here. So on that, as soon as this line connects, I apologize. Give it here a minute. And this was working just fine. But anyways, as we were waiting for that to connect, your navigation menu has several pull downs that will allow you to see the various action and you can navigate to the various action items within the finance or cash management or sales role. That you can also dig deeper. You can always, every link allows you to dive a little deeper. And I apologize, this is not, let me refresh. Okay, here we go. All right, as we're on the header line here, which is called the navigation menu, you also have the navigation bar. These are this line here is going to be more action items that are going to be closer to your everyday responsibilities, and these can be hidden or added to. The way you would want to do that is look at the 3 lines here. I think some people call this the hamburger. You can click on that, and it's going to open up all the various links that you have available to you under the business manager role. So for example, if I feel that I need some purchasing, a quick link to my vendors, and I want that underneath my navigation bar or included in my navigation bar, I am going to click on vendors. And then it will open up the vendors list. And you have this nice thing up here in the right-hand corner at the top, which is going to allow you to bookmark this to your role center. So all you do is you click it, and you'll see that it's been filled in. Go back to your role center, and you can see at the top here now, I've got the vendors added here. So you can add as many quick links as you want. And we'll go into that a little deeper on how you can make some changes in that area. So for now, I'm still just going to give you a high-level overview. This is your header bar, which is always going to be a quick message that you can, again, personalize, but it comes from aggregated business data from behind the scenes. So if you're in sales and you're the sales manager, you want to know what your largest sales order was, or your top customers. Those are messages that can all come up here every day. Again, customized. This section is your actions area, which is going to give you a list of tasks you can perform quickly, and these can be hidden. If you don't use some of these, they can be hidden, or they can be rearranged. This down here is your activities area. And this is going to give you a list of tasks or responsibilities that you perform and can get to quickly. Like, for example, these are going to show me my sales for this month. If I want to see more, I can drill down further by clicking the see more. And it's going to give me in list form my sales activity and orders and invoices. We'll go back to that, but again, these activities up here can be personalized, hidden, It's up to you as the user. You've got your tiles down here that again are quick links, tasks that you need to stay on top of. Maybe you are an approver for some invoices or other, employee time cards. Those can all be shown here in this area. Down here in this area is where you are going to get your business insights and reporting functionality that comes from either Power BI, the Cortana built-in intelligence. You can take a look at, customer data, your favorite accounts. Again, these are all related to the business manager role. Your trial balances, you can built in some charts from the Power BI integration that comes within Business Central. So that's just going to give you a quick overlook of what that particular role looks like. So after that, I have a quick video that I'd like to go into, and this is going to show you the actual personalization that you as a user can start playing around with and customizing your look and feel of your homepage. So if you can hold on a second, I'm going to get that started for us.
You can personalize your role center. And this means basically that you can tune it towards your own needs. So that means that you can change your role center. Now, the first thing to do when you want to change your role center is to activate the personalization mode. And we do this by clicking on settings and then personalize. Now, the moment you start hovering with your mouse over your role center, you see that the bigger sections are highlighted in red. And that means that for all these sections highlighted in red, you will have possibilities. And what are the possibilities? When you click here, you can see that we can move or hide these sections. For instance, in this case, let's assume that I don't want to see these insights here. I don't want to see that. Well, I can click on hide, and then you see my section is gone. I can do the same for this section, the activities. I can say hide, and that one is gone as well. And by doing so, I can just tune it towards my own needs by hiding the sections that I don't want to see. Now maybe you say like, whoa, I want to bring these sections back. Well, then you can click on more and then clear personalization, and then you click on all. And by doing so, confirming this message, you will see that in a split second you have all your sections back. Now, so what we did was hide a section. You can also move a section. For instance, if I'm going to take this insight, I can move it to here, for instance. Yeah. And then what we see now is that it's moved here underneath activities. So you can also move all these sections from one place to another, or you can hide the sections. If you want to bring it back, you can click on clear personalization, click on all, and you will have all your sections in a default mode. Also remember that personalization is for a user. It's not for the whole organization. So if you change your role center, then your changed role center is only visible to you. The changes will not apply to other people or other users working with Business Central. You can personalize the cues on your role center in two ways. And the first way is to use the setup cues possibility. So that means that you're going to configure the cues in terms of values, in terms of the style, the range style. And you see here, so this is the setup window for the cues on this role center. It works with two thresholds, threshold 1 and threshold 2, and it works with 3 range styles, low range style, middle range style, and high range style. And when we look at the example here of sales this month, so this cue is now calculated as 1,906. That is in between threshold 1, which is 0, and threshold 2, which is $10,000. And that means that it is now in the middle range style, which is now indicated as favorable. That means you see here the green bar. You can change that very easily. I can say, well, there is no indication, no range here, no style. So you see that then at that point, there is no green bar anymore. So you can change that range style, both from the low range, the middle range, and the high range. And you can also change the thresholds of the values. So that's one way to let's say, personalize the cues on your role center. Another way is to go to settings, personalize, and then you see again here that we can now move or hide each of these cues, and you can also move or hide entire sections. So that is the second way. By using the personalization, you can hide or remove cues from your role center. You will also find lists on your role center, and these can be personalized as well. So for instance, the favorite account lists, you can here personalize that by managing the list, which means setting it up, configuring in terms of which accounts are we going to show or publish. And you can change that here by deleting or adding a new line, and then of course making your selection from the GL account list. You can do that also for the trial balance. You can also here click on setup, and then you can configure which account schedule is displayed. The second way of personalizing there in the lists is by clicking on personalize, and then you go to your list, and you see here that we can, on a column level, set a freeze pane, move or hide the column, and exclude the column from quick entry, which means the tab navigation within that form. So in this way, you can also personalize lists on your role center.
So the next thing I'm going to show you is a quick video on how to personalize. Once you're within some of these functionality, you can personalize a list page or a card page. And that's what this video is going to go over, and then we'll go into any other questions that you might have after this. Here you go.
List pages. Now to show that, let's click on customers, and then we end up in the customer list page. Here we will activate the personalization possibility. And what we can do is we can start with personalizing the action bar. For instance, let's have a look here. You see that under the report menu, there are two reports, customer order summary and customer sales list. Let's say that we do not want to see the customer order summary because we don't use that report. Well, then we can just remove it from that menu. You can also you see that we have the possibility to remove, but also to move. So we can drag, for instance, the comments to navigation and to the navigate menu. And then you see here that we have the comments. So from the menu bar, you can personalize it by adding and removing or hiding and moving menu items in that menu. We can also work on the fields. First of all, you can set, you see here, a freeze pane, which you maybe want to have here. So then we can do the freeze pane here. And you can again say, I'm going to hide, or I'm going to hide a few other ones, like for instance, the phone number. I'm going to hide them from my list. So in this way, you can again personalize the list page yourself as a user very easily. So you can hide a number of these fields. If you want to add fields, you click on more, then you click plus fields, and then you get here the fields that you can use and that you want to add. For instance, you want to add the language code. There is a language code. You want to add a currency code. There is a currency code. And the moment you're done, you're finished, you're done, and your changes are implemented for you on the personal level. If you want to remove everything, then you can go to Personalize again, click on More, and then clear personalization, clear all, and everything will be again in the default way. Now let's have a look how we can personalize a card page. So let's open up a card page. And when you now move with your mouse, you see that you also can personalize the menus in the help bar. So if you click on it, you see the menu items here. Let's assume that you don't want to see this option. Then you click on remove. So it's gone here from the menu. And you can also move it to another menu. So you can personalize the app bar, the menus, and the app bar. You can also personalize the fields that are shown here on your cart page by just clicking on the right-hand side here, and you can move or hide these fields. You can also decide whether these fields need to be shown only when you click on Show More, or when the Fast tab is collapsed. So you can also decide in which view actually a field is shown or not, and you can exclude it from quick entry, which is actually the sequence you use when using DTAP order. Then on the right-hand side, you also see that you have the fact box with all kinds of sections in it. You can remove these sections by moving or hiding these sections. You can do the entire section or specific section. Same here, the same with the cues as on the role center. You can hide or show the entire section or just one specific cue. And in this way, actually, you can change everything on a cart page. So we have seen now how to personalize a cart page and how to personalize a list page. I think it's quite straightforward. You can use the personalization functionality. And once you're done, you click on done and you have personalized your screen.
Okay, thank you. And, I'll go back to again here to the Role Center for the Business Manager. And I wanted to show you one more thing that in case you're wondering, the help function is also here on the application bar. And if there's anything that this is where you can go, it will lead you, you can type in, for example, help and support takes you straight to the Microsoft site where you can find any troubleshooting or information on any topic that you're interested in, and it will lead you straight to some other resources on how to set up some of these personalization functions. Again, you can also use the Tell Me bar and look up profiles, for example, and it will lead you down to some areas that can provide some ways for customizing and setting up those profiles. So with that said, I think that we've pretty much covered some of the key ways to personalize your workspace and get rid of the clutter. Hopefully this has given you some ways to work a little more efficiently. And if there's not any questions, I'll send you back to Angie.
Bonnie, I think you did a really good job. We don't have any questions coming through.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone for attending today, and feel free to reach out to us if something comes up later that you'd like to know more about personalizing your workspace.
All right. Thank you again, Bonnie, for presenting, and to everyone on today's webinar, or if you're watching on demand, we thank you for joining us. And to let you know, we do have a few more webinars coming soon. This afternoon, we have Profix presenting on Microsoft Dynamics plus Profix equals FP&A automation fueling business growth. And then tomorrow, we have Gino Pack from Inovia Consulting. He's going to be presenting on using apps to make your Microsoft Teams channels more collaborative. So check out our website for more of our upcoming events, and that's inovia.com/events. And I want to let you know that Inovia has a podcast that is going on. If you have not heard of it already, it's called the Inovia Conversation. We want to encourage you to listen and to hear the selections that Steve and Jeff have provided to us over this past year. And they do about 2 episodes a month. And you can find out about all the different podcast platforms to listen to on our podcast page. And that's inovia.com/podcast. So check out our podcast selection and subscribe so you'll be notified when our new episodes air. And we have our annual customer conference that is coming up on May 20th and 21st here in South Bend, Indiana at Notre Dame. Contact your rep or visit our conference page where we have all of the details for our conference. and that website is inovia.com/conferences. This is a free event for you to attend, and we would love to have you. So register now so you don't miss out on this great event. All right, well, thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again soon on another Inovia webinar. Have a great day, everyone.